doing, Ronnie?
Oh, God, don't know why. Thank you very much.
God bless you, Ronnie. How many, you're on 1,000 committees.
Wow.
And the community board and this and that, and the Bikur Cholim, and wow.
Thank you. How about you?
God bless you.
You do nothing,
Hashem gives health and happiness to do chesed, otherwise.
Exactly. Yeah, he's the face.
It's the exact opposite from what we
Yeah,
think.
Friday is the
It's not
face.
to go to Florida or to go to Aruba. And open the Humashim. Many people as I forget to do it every morning. גם ראשונים של הרב מחייה is the orator.
Yeah.
I've been running way over there.
I couldn't get smart to get in there. Couldn't move back. That's fine.
גם, לא, מקום קבוע. I put it there because we have too many books.
Yeah. There's never too many books that way, right?
Yep. So today, as the rabbi mentioned, is Purim in Yerushalayim. So today, they eat the Seudah today. And the Mishloach Manot is today. So it comes out very interesting. In a normal year, let's say Purim is on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So Yerushalayim is on Wednesday.
Yeah.
If Purim by us was Friday, so Shabbat, so Purim in Yerushalayim was on Shabbat, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is why they said Al-Nisim. But you cannot really read the Megillah on Shabbat. So Chachamim told us to read it on Friday. Yeah? This is a fascinating case that happened in Yerushalayim.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, why can't they read it in Yerushalayim?
No, so the Gemara says on Shabbat you cannot read it because Chachamim said if you read it on Shabbat, the person might. We're not talking about today, Israel today. Israel today doesn't exist. We're talking about in the time of Chazal, yes? In Yerushalayim, yes, but you never ever change halacha because of the current event.
I think he has to give me the coins back. Thank you, Victor. How was business? Business was good? Thank you.
So באמת ירושלים should afraid as Ezra said on Shabbat. And because Chachamim made a gzera not to read it on Shabbat, so they asked the people in Yerushalayim to read it on Friday. Okay? this is a very interesting case that happened.
No, but was the logic, because you're gonna maybe carry the Megillah like the shofar, is that the same logic?
It's exactly the same. The same exactly as Lulav. Lulav falls on Shabbat. חכמים see בעיה של עבירה, אוקיי, בדין על עבירה. חכמים canceled shofar for all the Jews in the world. Why? Because one man might do an עבירה. This is the power of destruction of one mitzvah. The case was that just listen to a case, whatever you say, you might be right, but it's always, you can say it before you say the Torah. The question was, they read the Megillah in Yerushalayim. So let's say they read it 8 o'clock in the morning. Mr. X read the Megillah, and unfortunately, 2 hours later, he died from a heart attack.
Oh,
He read the Megillah, the people held the Megillah. Says the Shlomo Zalman Auerbach, those 10 in the minyan have to hear the Megillah.
Wow.
Think for a minute why. Whatever you say, think a minute, this is the Shlomo Zalman Auerbach. It's not a local rabbi, it's not a political rabbi. Think why. I gave you the introduction before. Be'emet, the only reason you can read on Friday is because it's Chayav on Shabbat, we moved it. On Shabbat, you are not alive. So when you read on Friday, you're not Chayav on Shabbat because you're not alive anymore. So your Kriya was a Kriya like a mile. You understand? הלכה למעשה, פסק שיקראו את המגילה again. באמת the obligation is the obligation of Shabbat. We take the obligation from Shabbat and bring it to Friday. But it's only if you are Chayav on Shabbat, then you are Chayav on Friday. Otherwise, Friday is you die, yes?
Or what if the kid's bar mitzvah on Saturday and now he reads on
I
Friday?
mentioned it last week, of course, all the Achronim.
That's the joke.
all the Achronim talked about this question. The kid became bar mitzvah on Friday in Yerushalayim. You cannot read really for them, or maybe it's better if you read on Shabbat. הלכה למעשה, he said you have to read on Shabbat. And those people have to read again. But the man who read for them on Friday was not really Chayav on Shabbat because he's not alive. If he's not alive.
You had like an extension from Friday to Shabbat, since Shabbat didn't exist.
But this is the point. This is the point. The power to read on Friday is because of Shabbat. On Shabbat it doesn't exist. You send me a person in Yerushalayim read the Megillah Friday, regular minyan. Unfortunately, later he died that day. So Shlomo Zalman Auerbach said you have to read the Megillah again. Why? The power for him to read on Friday, even though his obligation is Shabbat, is Shabbat. Shabbat is not around. On Friday, it's Barer Shabbat is
That's the only opinion Rabbi, like you cannot assume that well. But other
local rabbis might say whatever they want, they can say it in Tisha B'Av before because of Torah.
Because it was good when he read it.
What?
It was good when he read it.
Apparently he disagreed with
green
that.
card, it wasn't a citizen yet. That's what happened.
No, but you have to understand, if you learn the Gemara, what is the reading? How can people in Israel read on Friday? You doubt it. I'm not Chayav on Friday. That's the reason we duplicate Shabbat to Friday. But Shabbat doesn't exist for him. This is why you have to learn a lot of Gemara for many years in Yirat Shamayim. הלכה למעשה ככה, עשו למעשה קרות. Open the Chumash.
You needed Rabbi Zalman Auerbach to figure that out.
It's like someone came to me, I will tell you, the person comes to me here, the couple had many marital fights, but they had children, so they decided not to get officially divorced, but so the husband moved to the basement. For many years he lived in the basement, the family lived on top. Anyway, he died last week. His wife is not sitting Shiva.
No, not serious.
They're not divorced.
Let's get to the end. So he says to me, I told him why he doesn't see. A rabbi told her that. A rabbi told her. Of course. The answer is, the rabbi is good for a speech at a funeral, but he's not a rabbi. No, but he says, well, many years that you talk, they are married. I went once in Flatbush, this is Be'emet Kara. there are two boys in school, a freshman and a junior. I come to the house. Okay, the boys are sitting, obviously, and I see the mother, he died 2 or 3 days before he gave the official get, which means the husband, the parent,
Mostly they were already broken up, but they didn't happen.
but legal, I mean, this is a good example. You understand why this so-called rabbi said not to say Shiva. She's totally removed from you. Who says you have to be removed? Who says you have to cut an onion before you cry on Shiva? Shiva is halacha. If you are part of the 7 relatives, you have to, unfortunately,
I
say
know a
Shiva.
case where a woman, a man refused to give the woman a gift. And she said, I'm just not gonna sit for him, you know.
Right.
Here's
Here's a good example.
Not only am I not gonna get it when you pass away, you're older,
Right.
I'm not gonna have to sit for you.
Right.
It's like, it's fine, it's really,
So what's the halacha there?
She was obligated.
In his case, she has to
Well,
sit.
that's in that, they're both still alive, so
Chaim,
it didn't,
Chaim,
yeah, the day she may end up sitting.
Joseph, remember, we remember very often we look at halacha with a lot of emotions. Yeah? First, it starts with the halacha, then all your emotions. Does a man in Avelut really have to cry, or really? Or we do it just for the
In the
show?
end of the day, she may end up sitting. They're both still around, so we'll see what happens in the end.
No, but I cannot blame. You understand?
I understand.
You understand?
We'll go for it.
Joseph, you
Both
understand
may
the
happen
woman? Yes.
statistically, no.
I know if a woman met a religious woman. Her sister, she grew up in Brooklyn in the 40s, and she went to Brooklyn College. Her sister married an Italian. Okay? Shulchan Aruch says you don't see Shiva in a woman who married an Italian.
Oh,
And her sister died first, and everyone told me, you don't have to see Shiva, but she's my sister.
yeah.
She can sit Shiva a month later or a year later, but Shiva, of course she said Shiva. And Shiva was as good as my Purim, you understand?
But not to get into it,
It's not,
subject.
no, but I'm saying,
First
it's not a
thing,
question how you
right?
feel it. If she
course.
wants to feel bad for her sister, let her give tzedakah every day, you know?
So she
Do,
was
but
forbidden
Shiva,
from doing so, she was
She's
not permitted
forbidden
to
for
do it.
being.
So Rabbi, the first day is thought out, what's the
No, but you
source?
realize, but it's again, you're
Somebody
I-
not
I-
Mechalel Shabbat, you're not gonna sit. What's
That's
the
the way
difference?
they make the analogy.
I played on your emotions. I showed you one case that she has to, even though logically not, let's say the case of
Yeah, but I'm saying,
Joseph,
what's
and here's the other, she's my sister.
If she's your sister,
But
she
the
made the
halacha,
sin.
but the halacha says that you don't see the sister again. I mean, it's,
The halacha says.
So if she's Mechalel Shabbat,
No,
because
where
you
is
can
the
sit.
kind of, the concept, where is the concept of seeing Shiva and someone coming? Where? Who told us to see Shiva? Who is there? Halacha, right?
Abraham.
No, this is the Shiva. No, by Moshe and Aaron, you see only the day the person died. Shulchan Aruch says that people that are mechalel all the mitzvot publicly, the relatives not only don't see Shiva, they have to wear Shabbat clothes and celebrate that this guy died.
It's public, but if they're privately just.
This is not one the halachot that the rabbis would say public because you don't feel comfortable. Huh?
Where do we get 7
It
days?
is lovshim levanim, mekatfim levanim, and the celebrate. The answer is there aren't too many people that we know of that. 100 years ago, there were many people at the end because the kids were totally religious and they became totally not religious. Today, people are scary. But the Rambam says exactly the same.
Hey, what's the difference of somebody who's not doing it by Mizid, but somebody who don't keep in Shabbat, or out of desperation, she married an Italian guy? What's the difference here? Somebody Mechalel
What does
Shabbat.
it mean out of desperation? What does it mean?
Okay, she didn't
I
have
mean,
kids.
he looked good, or his hair was blonde, or his blue eyes? What was it?
She
Or the
fall-
Ferrari that was driving? Or his PhD from MIT? What was it?
She fall in love, something,
Yeah,
I don't know.
but this
okay.
But she knows that she was
this
doing
is-
wrong.
yeah,
She
but
was
this
doing
is-
something that her parents
Really, she
doesn't
knows
want.
that he did wrong, but she should have divorced him.
But she still did.
My father-in-law, Joseph, my
That's
father-in-law,
not the halacha.
Joseph,
He's telling you, if the
This is
halacha, the
a-
guy doesn't give everything, it's one thing. He gives one, and that's not halacha.
my father-in-law and a niece, which means my wife's aunt, my wife's
cousin.
first cousin.
Yeah.
She was really good looking and she was a genius in music. She was raised in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and she was sent here to go to high school, a religious high school, and she went to. Anyway, she fell in love with an Italian. She says to her mom, "Mom, I know that this is wrong. I mean, all the speeches she knows, but can't help it. It's my parent." So her mother told her, "Listen, you understand we cannot come to the wedding. You understand that you cannot bring him home, but you're my daughter." And every Friday, she used to call her up every Friday. He used to tell her all the rules in the family. Before Pesach, Shavuot, Sukkot, she kept in touch with me.
Yeah.
5 years later, Joseph, she tells her husband, "I love you, but we have to go divorce. Because I cannot sleep at night.
No.
Because my life is
The
torn."
mother didn't break the connection.
Only because the mother kept, she divorced him. She married a Jewish boy. She's still alive. She was a good friend of mine. But you know, this concept, what do you mean you couldn't help it? What is it couldn't help it? I mean, I'm giving an example, saying I'm playing with the emotions of everyone, including myself. Just saying. I happen to know, this is very famous, a good couple from a good family, then before they got married, they discovered that she has a serious cancer. You know, he had, not she did.
Yeah.
And he comes to her and says, "Break the engagement. I'm not sure if I'll be around in 2 years." She told him, "Absolutely not. What do you think if this would be our daughter? What would you tell her?"
Next.
She married him. You know what? This is what love is, not when you fall in love in Italian. Says, how can I let the guy be on? How can I do it? It's very difficult to me because if you play with emotions, she says, we decided to get married. It's a different upbringing. The values are not from Hollywood. The values of different values. So here the halacha tells you, can I take out the Rambam Shoftim a second? Let's see if I can find it.
We had in a men's cancer group, we had a young man about 20 years old. He was
No, Shoftim, Elaine, all the way there.
Somebody he wanted to marry, he was diagnosed with cancer. They both still wanted to get married. We all went to the wedding.
20-year-old?
Yeah, 21 years old.
In 1967, I was a teenager. There was a very famous case. The case was published all over the place. Here, high schools in Tel Aviv sent, boys and girls to attend soldiers. A junior girl went to Tel HaShomer to attend the Tzalchan. The guy was paralyzed, partially his face was after a few months, she fell in love with this. And she says to her mom, "I'm getting you married." I'm like, "Are you crazy? Who are you marrying?" Golda Meir came to the wedding. Golda Meir, Yitzhak Rabin. I think she was crazy, or this is not Hollywood style love. What is it?
Crazy.
Okay. See, he's talking
A little crazy.
he's a little. But באמת, תחשוב באמת, this is what the Hollywood thought love
This is what Hollywood does.
This is famous. Golda Meir came to the wedding. And the mother of public TV said to her daughter, "Don't get married, you're crazy." See, the point is that this stops here. I would like to visit her 5 years later. 5 years later, I ask her, "Let's go back now. Was it the right decision or not?" But this is why you need parents, you need education, There's a fellow that was in my class for many years now, he moved to Toledo. And his son was engaged to be married. He went to Toronto, and unfortunately there was a big snowstorm, and he was involved in a serious car accident. And he told his
I understand.
he recovered completely, he had a good job, but left the months and months of therapy. He got married, they had 2 kids, and they had to get divorced. No, because she married you only because she was faithful to you. Shouldn't you treat her as a queen? Answer is, you would definitely say yes, she's a queen. But when life comes to day-to-day life, it's very difficult to remove all the residue that. But this is what life is about. It's very, very difficult to tell the kids. Depends how you raise the kids. Depends how you.
Rabbi, without emotion, I have two questions on the Wood Building stories. One is, Doraita, to sit Shiva Doraita is one day. What's the source that you don't, that you should not sit?
It's not even Doraita one day. It's only Gabi Alachot of Kodashim. Look at Rambam B'chot Aver.
Okay, it's not a Doraita, it's not.
No, there's no Shiva B'chlal Min HaTorah. It's only Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu תיקן לנו ישראל, שבעת ימי האבלות ושבעת ימי המשתה.
So the rabbis have the ability then to knock out if somebody marries a goya, to knock out the sitting.
So was the Lebanon to start with?
Because was Dirab total, Dirab to start with.
Okay, look a second.
ביום ראשון.
I thought, where do I hear the Yom Rav?
Let's go. Don't worry. Look at Rambam פרק הלכות אבל, הלכות אבל פרק א'. רמב"ם הלכות אבל יראה בדדן. מצוות עשה להתאבל על הכל. רק רגע. שנאמר, אהרון says to Moshe, regarding קורבנות, not regarding his garments, not regarding his shoes, not regarding his table. ואכלתי חטאת היום, הייתה בעיני השם, ואין אבלות מן התורה אלא ביום ראשון, שהוא יום המיתה ויום הקבורה, only the day of death, if it's a day of burial. אבל שער הישיבה אינו מן התורה. Then the Rambam says later,
It's only the same day.
Yeah.
Wow.
the Rambam is מפורש.
I ain't done everything, I said I read it. I'm not arguing.
Now is the Rambam that we don't like to hear. No, מן התורה, this is מן התורה. The Gemara says, because the pasuk, look to פרק א', say מפרק א', הלכה י'. It's called the Rambam, the same Rambam we love to always say the Rambam says, let's hear the Rambam, the question we don't like to hear, Joe. כל הפורשים מדרכי הציבור, people who are removing themselves from the Jewish ways, והם האנשים שפרקו עול המצוות מעל צווארם. You know some people like this? I know hundreds of thousands of them. In America, in Israel, ואינם נכללים בכלל ישראל בעשיית המצוות. They're not doing anything. וכיבוד המועדות, which means that Pesach Shavuot Sukkot means nothing to them. They never attend the shul וישיבת בתי כנסיות, אלא הרי הם כך בני חורים לעצמם כשאר האומות. Americans. They're not Jews, they're Israelis. They're Canaanites. They're Canaanites, they're not Jews. וכן המינים והמשומדים, those who converted to Christianity. והמוסרים, those who are informed in the Jewish, כל אלו אין מתאבלים עליהם, אלא not only don't sit Shiva, אחיהם, the brothers and the relatives, they have to wear Shabbat clothes. ואוכלים ושותים ושמחים make a party. שעבדו שונאיו של השם, those who hate Hashem die. It doesn't apply to most people as we know today, 99%.
Hate Hashem, you say, Rabbi. The people, they don't hate Hashem. They do it because they don't know better.
Today, most people are.
So with their family, if they
We had a mother that her son was one of the kids on the party with Avodah Zarah and Simchat Torah. So the mother said, we are religious, my son. I hope and I pray, but God will do whatever is good for my son. The son was dead. He didn't know. ככה היא אמרה, she said, spotting flag with 650 guys. Says we are praying every day and we hope that he is alive. But it's very painful. You know that a large percentage of those who celebrated the Simchat Torah Shabbat in front of the Buddha, many of them came from religious families and they fell apart.
So they consider Tinokot with the family
Many
consider
of them.
consider it. Obviously, they were
completely confused. ועליהם הכתוב אומר, this is the Rambam, the same Rambam that tells us what to do for Shabbat, Yom Tov, and all the Rambams that we love, Rambam, it's a Gemara, you realize the Rambam didn't make it, שולחן ערוך copies it word by word. ועליהם הכתוב ואומר, הלא משנאיך, Hashem Hasna. Who Hashem that most non-religious people that we know are not like that. I mean, how many do you have that were religious practicing it? Unfortunately, why did they get to this Noah festival? Because something happened there.
Society is so.
This is more like in the reform movement when it first started, when they were attacking
When it started only later, no, כל הרפורמים התחילו, כל שנשמעו.
Right, okay, but in the beginning, from what I read, that they were attacking, they were trying to eliminate the orthodoxy.
Of course.
That was in Germany.
Today's society, social media is so pervasive that almost anybody is just vulnerable. Their life's like a disease. I don't know any. Very few people are really in.
I have a fellow in my life. The grandfather I told you went to a labor camp in Siberia. The father, the father didn't come from Yeshiva for many weeks now. You know, it's not. I saw him coming to Maria. I said, "I'm feeling okay." Everything is fine. This is what happened. His son is a typical Bachur Yeshiva, a nice kid from Hasidic background. On Sukkot, someone exposed him to the dirty iPhone. And she showed him, says, my son is off completely. And he says to me and my mother, my wife, I know I'm wrong, but I can't. No. Okay, so they take it, being experts to try to use the kid who was exposed to the dirty of dirtiest. He says, I can't take it off my mind. I can't. It's in front of me all the time. But the father says to me, I can't. My mind is, I can't go to work. Now, you wouldn't say that this kid falls into this category. Definitely not. Yes? He's not falling into. He has a disease now.
Yeah.
The disease is that.
It's not Tinok Shishma.
No. He knows more than most of people here. But
we're making a new category.
לא, וכולם זה אנוס, זה נקרא, לא, זה נקרא אנוס.
I'll call it temporary insanity.
הוא אנוס. He tells you openly, I know exactly that I'm wrong, but he said, okay, so they take him to experts. They take him to experts now, and all the advice that everyone told you is your son. When you come to the meal, you're part of the family, no one has to say anything to him, no matter what. He says to me, I can't sleep. Not because, how is it possible that overnight? No. But this is definitely not in this category. The kid is it's not his fault.
Most of the things that we do wrong, it's the same category. Like we do it, we know it is wrong.
No, Joseph, when you feel, Joseph, when you feel now it's wrong, you wouldn't do it. You forget this, you have a.
It's a simple thing. One of my grandsons on a Friday night after dinner, he's talking about he's taking driving lessons.
It's a pure cop out.
And he made a super mistake with the driving instructor. The instructor called him a certain phrase, and he's repeating what the instructor told him. Now he did not, and the whole family was like, how could you say that? He had no idea that what the instructor told him was not a proper thing to say. He was repeating it, told it 10 times before he came to us.
Of course.
My son,
He never heard it.
He never heard it before. He's learning in the morning, learning at the night. No clue. He thought it's okay.
What was the word?
I don't know.
No, 18 years old, he never heard it.
So the Rosh Hashiva, one of the Rosh Hashivas in YU, his son is gay. Rosh Hashiva. And his son is.
The Shiva's part has nothing to do with it.
They're saying it's not
He's the head of the group that sued Yeshiva University to lose government funding.
Yeah, years ago, yeah.
Wow, tough.
So I listened to the podcast, and he said in the beginning he had this kind of attitude, and then he switched.
I mean, you are the father or the son?
Father.
Or the father.
And the son also, but the father.
Bang
It's bang heads is wrong. It's not good. It is, but it is. You can't control it like that. And
They coexist.
But you see, Sammy, here's the question. When kids openly ask you in class, we have in school, I mean, now it's here or there. Tell this, look, everyone understands that if you're not attracted to a woman, you're not attracted to a woman, right? But when you are married and your secretary is very attracted to you, you're happily married, would you say no to a wife? Answer is, if you really feel that this is wrong, you do have. See, the problem with the gay is not that he's not married. Stay not married till 99. What
He's
gives you?
married.
Well, what?
He's married.
He's married.
No, he's like,
He's,
he's married.
totally
He
engaged.
had the dog.
Okay.
Rabbi Diamond,
Yes.
answered a question this one class. And he said, everybody is born with a horse to ride. Easy to say, I'm only repeating what he said. Some people have harder horses, some people have easier horses. People who are born with this predilection have a tougher horse, and they have to be able to control those desires, and that's their test in life. That's how
I
he
have a
answered it.
strong desire to achieve, but the answer is everyone understands. We cannot tell him get married because it's not
Ruin
fun.
someone else's life.
But right.
Yeah.
But what gives you the right to say yes? I mean, the answer is again, it's easy for us to say. Yeah? To talk.
Let him get married, but not challenge his father as a Rosh Yeshiva and make a group and
I know a
Yeah.
lady that the son became a gay, and when he got married to a male, he made sure that there was Sheva Brachot there. Understand? עפר לפה שלו, אתה מבין את המספר? באה החתונה של the grandfather שלו והסבא הזמינו אותו לברכה האחרונה,
Rabbi,
שברס
I know this says the
This is a girl.
I'm gonna tell you something.
no, but this is, it's funny, someone you know also. I don't know how, I mean, I heard it ממש, היה cringe. No, I heard the recording of it, and they called the grandfather was a Holocaust survivor, Shem Baracha, that his grandson,
He invited his grandfather.
it's a wedding.
Rabbi, I'm like, you can't believe. Friends of mine, they would say, well, at least they married a Jew.
That's the shot. Which one is better? I don't know.
Rabbi,
Then we have questions, how come this happens in
Oh,
Jewish
really?
community, this happens, all these jokes.
I don't know.
Why does it happen to the Israel? Why is it over Sunday? Why is it over Sunday?
A few years ago, I did work for a specialist doctor.
Okay.
Jewish. He didn't let me work on that one.
Oh, there's no marriage.
And he was gay and he was married to.
Okay, so you got the mitzvah for the.
Rabbi, I called up the Chabra. I have a question. What is it? This guy is dying, and he died 2-3 days later.
Yeah.
He wants to be buried in our cemetery. Okay, what's the question? So the guy is gay. Sam, publicly, yeah, he's married. Sam, I said, that's not the hard part. What's the hard part? He wants to reserve a spot.
Oh my gosh.
Sam, you're joking, right? No, that's not the hard part.
Well, should they sit? Should the other guy sit?
That's not the hard part. The partner is a goy. Okay, so Sam, you're
That's
joking.
the question. Okay,
You're joking. What is it?
And Sam's
No.
asking,
That's not the hard part. What's left? The partner decided he's going to convert to Judaism after the guy dies. Ger Sedek.
Wow.
Actual story.
Imagine.
Actual story.
The Gemara says,
Same weekend.
They only go to use it. They know where to go.
the Gemara says that if a Gentile committed many crimes and he converted, he starts from scratch, except if it's murder.
Except murder.
Except murder. זאת אומרת, if you say כקטן שנולד and you have to be consistent, you cannot really punish. Or one word that is interesting, he had a relationship with the Na'ara Morasa, which means it's a type of relationship that by them, it's mutar. The concept of engagement doesn't exist. These two, otherwise,
So he gave me a solution.
to put him in the center, to put
No,
same,
in the same cemetery, the
Another section.
Hebrew
another section.
has their lot.
Another
Go buy a
section.
lot
Yeah,
from
they
him.
have another section.
So he bought right across from the city lot. He's a Kohen, first row. Oh, yeah, it's a Kohen also.
But that
Why
happens, but I was saying, they had the cutoff on the age.
No, you
No,
buy
I
it
know,
from
but
me, yeah.
well, one of my friends wanted to be buried in Staten Island.
He.
And Ruby, my friend, Ruby
Yeah, yeah.
Dow. They wouldn't
Because
bury him,
they
he
have
had
to
it in his
open
will,
another
he wanted to
cemetery
be
right
buried
in
in
the
Staten
space.
Island.
They have
And
the
he
age
didn't
cutoff.
wanna let him, he wound up buying the lot,
Oh, he bought
Nearby.
it from them.
Yeah,
In the
yeah,
same,
that's
same
cheaper.
cemetery, different cemetery.
Cheaper,
huh?
cheaper,
Much cheaper, yeah.
much cheaper.
Yeah.
What they do,
Yeah,
what they do sometimes is they take a metal cut there, and they put around, this is
That's-
the chitza,
Yeah.
they try to bury him at the end
That's-
with a,
Today, I'm going to Erevaya. All that Sunday was.
no, but this was Purim Torah, if you want to know what Judaism is holding today, this story,
Yeah,
it's been smart than every story, Shem Shmarenu, this is what Judaism is about. What about the Chumash, guys, that's going out to real. No, but you see,
Moshe's wife's brother,
Then they married
Yeah.
too.
Moshe Valdevich's wife,
I
is
had
my
a
brother.
business associate places.
Frank.
He's very well done.
today, you know. You have a son,
Yeah,
in
strange
Israel.
language.
Yeah.
The
Yes,
son is Sabbath,
actually, yeah, they're
Sabbath,
divorced, but they have a son, yeah. Married to Charles Arat,
Sam, here's the Chokhmah באמת, they are between us. He said this was a good left for Purim, but this was from the time of Tanakh. It's Katuv HaChumash, yeah? The difference is the way we look at it.
Yeah.
Neither of us 25 years ago looked at gays and lesbians. But this
It's
is the
okay.
point. This is how subconsciously we don't realize how, okay, we understand
So
it.
that's the marketing, Rabbi. When years ago they did it biblical, everybody didn't fly, but now they made the equality issue.
The quality issue.
Equality became now the
It's a-
national
it's
ticket.
a- it's a big-
The
it's a big-
eagle, why not the eagle? What are you talking about? Okay,
This is
the
the big-
Bible didn't work.
Yeah, but this is really the biggest issue.
They changed the market.
Look a second in your Chumash, page 490. We're going to look at your Chaim.
Choice, you know, you have a choice.
The Parashat Kitisa, yesterday's Parashat 490. We finished with all the jokes of Purim.
Yeah. Sunday.
ויאמר השם אל משה לאמור, ואתה, יש לי פסוק י"ב י"ג, ואתה דבר אל בני ישראל לאמור, אך את שבתותיי תשמורו, כי אותי ביני וביניכם לדורותיכם לדעת כי אני השם עובד אשכם. There's no exception in Chumash, every ach is a mi'ut.
Yeah.
Mi'ut means
Yeah.
except, but. What is the but? In a minute. Let's read a little more. ושמרתם את השבת כי קודש היא לכם. וחללי אמות יומת. זאת אומרת, חללי אמות יומת, אם זה במזיד in a warning, this סקילה, כי כל העושה במלאכה, without התראה, במזיד without התראה, ונכרתה הנפש ההיא וקרב רמה. Very clear. Remember, we're going to focus on the Ach in a second. ששת ימים יעשה מלאכה, ביום השביעי שבת, שבתון קודש להשם, כל העושה מלאכה ביום השבת, כמו תרומה. Now the obvious question is, what is this psukim now? ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, what are we adding? שמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם בבית עולם, ביני ובין בני ישראל לא אותי לעולם, ששת ימים עשה השם את השמיים ואת הארץ. So look at the Rashi first. So the Rambam, the Rashi says, Pasuk Yud Gimel. Remember, the Psukim before were talking about the Mishkan, yes? Hashem is appointing Bezalel, Oriah, ואתה אף על פי שהפקדתיך לצוותם על מלאכת המשכן, even though I appointed those people to supervise, אל יקל בעיניך לדחות את השבת מפני אותה מלאכה. But don't think, since it's a big mitzvah to build a Beit HaMikdash, that you can do it on Shabbat. So, The next Rashi again. אף על פי שתהיו רדופים וזריזים בזריזות המלאכה, even though I'm encouraging you to build it as quick, as fast as you can, Shabbat, אל תדחה מפניה. Which means, it's גזירת הכתוב, that this is why we learn all the למתת אבות מלאכות, אבות מלאכות were used for the משכן. Rashi says, כל אחים ורקים מיעוטים. למעט שבת במלאכת המשכן. Now you have a big חומשים there, you see the מקראות גדולות, open the מקראות גדולות, not the regular חומש. Let's see how the אור החיים here, we have few here. Yeah, there's another one, You open them, אור החיים. Open לי פרשת כי תישא פרק ל"א, פסוק י"ג, פרק ל"א, פסוק י"ג.
ל"א י"ג?
ל"א י"ג. סלוג לאור החיים, ואתה דבר, בפרק א', פרק ל"א, פסוק י"ג, לאור החיים. יהיה לאור החיים? יהיה גוד. צריך לדעת אומרו ואתה, מה שאינו רגיל לומר בשאר מצוות, ואתה דבר בנים, מה זה ואתה? גם תוספת ו' ואתה, עוד, למה כפה לומר דבר על בני ישראל לאמור? דבר על בני ישראל, והגם שפירשתי בתחילת פרשת תרומה, כי צריך לומר דבר ולא תספיק לאמור לבד, כאן הוסיפתי רק לאמור פעם ב', אוקיי, עוד צריך לדעת אח, אח דבר ואומרו שבתותיי, לשון רבים, שבתותיי, skip 2 lines, ונראה לפרש הכתוב, וקודם נעמוד על כוונת תיבת אח את שבתותיי, ונעלה דרך השם להשכיל אומרו ואתה, ותוספת לאמור מתבהר, listen to this now, על פי מה שאמרו רבותינו זיכרונם לברכה, שמחללים את השבת לצורכי חולה שיש בו סכנה. שבת ולכל פיקוח נפש וכדומה, והוא מה שרמז באומרו אח את שבתותיי. Again, it's a mute, פירוש, יש מציאות, וזה קייס, שאין לך לשמור שבת, ודקדק באומרו את שבתותיי, לכלול, why is it plural? לכלול כל הנקרא שבת, בין שבת בראשית, בין, go to the next page, where it says אור החיים, בין יום הכיפורים, בין שאר המועדים. The Gemara in Shavuot says that even the מועדים, כיפור are considered שבתותיי, למלאכות האסורות בהם. גם, לרבות, אפילו שבת אחר שבת. אם עדיין הוא מסוכן, לא יאמר אדם, כבר חיללתי עליו שבת אחת. So this is הלכה that most of us know. Of course, who defines what is פיקוח נפש? Don't live to your grandmother or to your wife or to whatever. Yes. Now, listen what he says further. עוד נתכוון לרמוז עניין אחד שהעלו רבותינו ז"ל, והוא listen carefully what he's saying now. זה גמרא יומא, שאם עמדו לחולה שיש בו סכנה, שצריך לעשות לו רפואה ידועה, שיש בה מלאכת שבת 8 ימים. The doctor said that we have to give him a certain treatment, 8 consecutive days.
Yeah.
Today is Shabbat, today is the first day. I'm adding now, it's the afternoon. It's the winter before you move the clock. Shabbat is out in 2 hours. היינו אומרים שלא לחלל אלא שבת אחד. Let's wait.
Oh,
אלא יעשה מיד. But remember again, this is only if it's באמת פיקוח נפש.
yeah.
אף על פי שמחללים בית שבתות. עד כאן. What is the difference if I start 4 hours later to
Yeah.
take the medicine, if I'm doing this or that? Assuming that the doctor says you have to start immediately. No, Rabbi Kamenetsky, when he was a rabbi in Toronto before he moved to America, this is during the war, a sick man came to him before Yom Kippur and he gave him the information. He told him you're not allowed to fast. The guy was a wise guy, he did fast and he died.
Yeah.
But if you know, the Yankiv Kamenetsky said, this man is a Rasha. He died because he, no, then he praised him afterwards, but he
Yeah,
said,
obligation.
please remember, you died almost suicide, yes? Because you were told not to. But again, I know many people who were told that this and they did it anyway. And the answer is, this is back to Joseph's, this is what halakha is about. It's not what you, how can I eat a Yom
Yeah,
Kippur?
diabetics that don't do the proper activities on Kippur because then some of them.
No, but again, it's there. It's if you follow halakha the way the halakha told you to. Yes? It's the way the halakha tells you to do.
But not only that, if the proper rabbi gives you a certain thing, you have to follow, you know, it's not, it's on him.
Of course.
Rabbis call him practically a murderer.
Yeah.
אמר, then you committed suicide. No, then he had many things to praise him, but he wanted people to hear. Can you imagine the funeral? ככה התחיל, ככה התחיל. Can you imagine in 67th Street, the guy? No, this is suicide.
Another
Yeah,
rabbi.
but he was very generous and he was, this is a job of a rabbi. It's, you have to take many flags afterwards, but my job is,
Another rabbi might have said a kiddush, he died on kiddush Hashem.
right. That's a Kiddush Hashem.
So how does it work out? 2 days ago, let's assume a person had it there at 5 o'clock on the first Friday, it's already after sunset. And the doctor said he needs it 8 days in a row, 5 a.m. every day. So by the time the next Shabbat afternoon is after the.
Yeah, but every doctor that I ask every time is when you tell me 4 times a day, 3 hours a
It could
day.
be flexible.
Do I have to look exactly 60 seconds a minute? And the doctor's laughing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so the answer
Just
is
in case it
within.
works out, you have the right.
This is
It's
where
not to just tell you sometimes we want you to take it the same time every day,
Right,
but
right.
not by.
Not because medically it doesn't matter 1 hour more, 1 hour less.
No, but they like the same
Yeah,
time
this
every
was
day.
consistency. Yeah.
No, look further, then we'll go to the Rambam. Od Yirmoz, you see the next piece of Orach Chaim?
Yeah.
עוד ירמוז, ועוברו את שבתותיי, לתת טעם למיעוט. למה אני אומר לך שתחלל שבת על החולה? אין זה קרוי חילול. This is not really חילול שבת, אדרבה. זה קרוי שמירת שבת. Yes?
Yeah.
חלל עליו שבת אחת, כדי שישמור שבתות הרבה. You see, the חוכמה היא...
Moscow has that in their.
Yeah, but you see, this is a very difficult Orach Chaim in a minute. But here's the point. A woman goes into labor. So the halacha permits her mother to come along. The aunt should stay home and go to sleep. The grandmother should go to sleep.
Sure.
But there's no, I mean, all this, you see, everyone is accepting this halacha easy because pikuach nefesh. But again, the halacha tells you
Exactly who and what.
who and what and why and when.
Not the husband.
No, if the husband stays home, it's much better. You will look further. So he says, as a chilul, as Shmirat Shabbat. But listen what he says now. Chalel alav Shabbat achat, כדי שישמור שבתות הרבה. So now we come to the chidush that everyone in the last 250 years talks about. בשיעור הכתוב, כפי זהו, על זה הדרך שמרו שבתות הרבה, keep many שבתות, על ידי שתעשה מיעוט שרירה בהם, yes? By desecrating this Shabbat, yes? We'll be able to keep many more שבתות.
Yeah.
ומציאות הדבר הוא לחלל שבת על חולה, שבזה אתה מחלל שבת אחד, לשמור שבתות הרבה, fine. ואין אומרים בזה, listen to this now, ואין אומרים בזה, אין אומרים לאדם חטא בשביל שיזכר חברך. The Gemara says in Shabbat that if a fellow placed on Shabbat a pizza or a cake, so if I'm pulling out the pizza before it bakes, I'm saving him from Avera. Am I obligated to do it or not? The Gemara says, Ein omrim la'adam chateh b'shvil she'yizker chavercha. Okay, there is a famous Tosfot there. This question is one of
Great
the...
question.
No, but today's day and age, these rabbis have many questions. Those rabbis, the rabbi in Panama, they didn't say one word for people that drove through Shabbat. Okay, so, but there are many tshuvot based on this Gemara, when yes, when not. It's Tosafot in Avodah Zarah, Tosafot in Gittin, Tosafot in Shabbat. Maybe once we'll have a
What's the specific concern? Because you know Hebrew. What's
You
the-
are not obligated to desecrate or to do an avirah to save the other fellow from doing it. So many rabbis today, it was expanded almost to no end. The biggest question comes up. You invite a relative to a meal, you know that he's coming with a car. He's driving back on a car Friday night.
Yeah.
So why are you inviting him? If you really believe that the guy is looking for Judaism, look. Many rabbis are strongly saying no, even on that. But if it's only a social visit to have an environment of Shabbat, באמת זה אסור. אין אומרים לאדם חטא. The reason why he's driving on Shabbat, good. You have to know every case exactly what the case is, fine. So this is what he says. כי דווקא בעבר עבירה ומחלל שבת בידו. כי אותה שאמרו, הדביק פת בתנור, put the bread in the oven, שחילל שבת וחייב מיתה. So this guy places the cake on Shabbat, I'm not taking it out to save him. על זה אין אומרים לו חטא, אבל חולה, אמרה התורה חלל, אפילו דוד מלך ישראל, אם יזדמן הדבר לידו, יחלל. even דוד המלך. והנמנע מדבר זה, if a man refuses to desecrate Shabbat, אין זה אלא מזלזל במצוות. The old Rabbi Biggie Borbach was one of the old European real rabbis. A member of Hatzalah, a good friend of mine, told me Friday night, the rabbi, many times, he felt, he called Hatzalah, it's dark in the room, the rabbi is in bed. As he walks in, the rabbi says to him, Yuda, do you need a light? He says, yeah, of course. So the rabbi says to his grandson, turn the light on. He says, Sadie, Hatzalah is here. She told him, you think they are going Shabbos? Open the light now.
Yeah.
The grandson says, you never forgot it. You understand what he did? The rabbi did. Normally Hatzalah comes, they do it 1, 2, 3. He says, you go and open the light. He says, Hatzalah is not a Shabbos going. Hatzalah is doing what should be done. If he says he needs light now, we need light. This is part of the, it's a,
He's supposed to do it himself.
but
He's supposed to do it himself.
Okay.
You're not supposed to send the
I don't
katan.
know, but the rabbi was in bed. No, yeah, a teenager.
Fellas,
No,
what's about somebody
no,
called-
no,
Don't let the boy, don't let the boy make the rule that you should make the
Tell his wife to do it. Zayn.
Anyway,
The rabbi, Rashi and Vayakhel is a little odd.
yeah.
Because over there, it starts off Sheshet Yamim Ta'aseh Melacha. What's it doing there? Rashi says to tell you that you can do the Mishkan. You already did it here.
Okay.
Rashi is saying the
Leave some
same.
Divrei Torah for Vayakhel, because Vayakhel is very difficult to say. It's a repeat of all the previous parashiyot. Now, listen what he says now. look, go to the Orach Chaim to Pasuk Yud Pasuk Yud. Remember we looked at it. ושמרתם את השבת, you see it starts ושמרתם, אורח חיים, make sure you have שמרתם את י"ד, אורח חיים י"ד.
There's a lot of good email apparently.
אורח חיים very often takes
Tafshin Samach Gimel.
no, but we have the
Different
different
editions.
different prints.
Fine, you gave me that easy, but I didn't find your dollar.
צריך
Oh, I
לדעת,
see, it's small, you thought it was very small.
צריך לדעת למה חזר לצוות על שמירת שבת ולתת טעם חדש כקודש. ונראה, לפי שקדם להתיר חילול שבת לחולה, כפי שפירשנו בפסוק שלפני זה. וחש שיטעה הטועה, כי לגבי חולה זה נעשה שבת חול. ויש לחללו, אפילו לפרטי רפואה שהם בהם פיקוח נפש. You might feel that if today in the World Series, the guy is a baseball diehard, maybe you can open the television for him to watch it. תלמוד לומר, ושמרתם את השבת כי קודש היא, פירוש, בקדושתה עומדת לכל שאר הפרטים שהם בהם פיקוח נפש. It means only, see, but this is a very fine line. I purposely gave you this example. Why? Look a second here. Take this open Siman Shin Chaf Chet.
You can't make the whole place hefker.
Correct, but this is exactly what you mean. Shin Chaf Chet.
Only what's necessary.
Shin Chaf Chet. Yes.
So what's the answer if he wants to watch the World Series?
Only
Can
the
you
ninth
turn it
inning.
on for
Only
them?
the ninth inning.
Only if you feel that you would get a heart attack. If it's not, then you know.
I get a hard time from watching the game.
You see, when you teach this type of halachot in school, all the kids get it. You see, you know why? He told you, we're not talking about me and you.
You can relate to it.
It's not me and you. We're talking about people that would rather die. I mean, there's a famous, there was a case in Yerushalayim, and you know, Atzalah comes on Shabbat and he says, in Sibir, I kept Shabbat. You're telling me in Yerushalayim I should go with car on Shabbat? And you told him, in Sibir you kept it, this was big, but today, you have to know, this is all European Jews. I'm not going. Shabbat. Shlomo Zalman Auerbach came to him and he says, give me your hand, come, I'm walking with you to the ambulance, I'm going to Hadassah with you. He got so scared, he says, okay, I'm ככה אמר לו, תן לי את היד, לקח את זה, בוא, no, but the guy meant it, he says it. 20 years, he says, I gave my life for Shabbat, and he said, you're not mechalel Shabbat, you do what you have to do. But you understand, this is, we played before in emotions, but this by him, this to go on Shabbat is, life is over. The answer is, this is why the Orach Chaim says, it's not Chilul Shabbat, it's Shmirat Shabbat. As if you do it the way you should do it.
On the other hand, there's a story about the Super Bowl. There was a guy sitting on the 50-yard line with one empty seat. But somebody went to him and said, how come you have empty seat Super Bowl day? And he said, well, my wife passed away. Oh, sorry. You didn't have any family members to come? No, they're at the funeral.
I'm telling you, you'll find a Jet fan that'll give up a year of his life in order to see the Jets win the Super Bowl in his lifetime.
It will cost 10.
What?
It will cost them 10.
Look a second, בשולחן ערוך ישראל. בסעיף ד' שדגג ששמעת בהלכה מאוד מעניין, גילי שוד היה מאוד משמע ברורה, שין כ"ח סעיף ד'. This is one of the big differences between מחלוקת עצומה in the Rishonim. Look at this. מכה של חלל, which means it's definitely, no. It's definitely פיקוח נפש. זאת אומרת, it's a type stroke, one of these, אין ספק, מה טוב. אינה צריכה עומד, I don't need doctors, אפילו אין שם בקיאים וחולה, אינו אומר כלום, עושים לו, listen to this, כל שרגילים לעשות לו בכל. מה פירוש המילים? כל שרגילים לעשות לו בכל. This is a word by word copy from the Ramban in ספר תורת האדם. מה זה? זה מבהיל מאוד, אבל ככה זה. What you're going to read now is exactly.
No, he should have just said Mechalelim Lo Shabbat.
The question is like this: the man is used to the man is used to every morning he starts the day with brewed coffee. You know, if he drinks coffee this morning or not, he's not going to change the situation. Mutar or asur, I would say definitely asur. The Orchan says asur. Look in Mishnah Berurah. Kol sheregilim ממאכלים ורפואות. You see the Mishnah Berurah? י"ד, you see י"ד? כל שרגילים ממאכלים ורפואות. He says now, משמע, אף על פי שאין בו סכנה במניעת הדבר ההוא. Even though not giving it to him is not going to make his life, כיוון שהחולי יש בו סכנה, since he was diagnosed already, זה חולה שיש בו סכנה, ויש בהדבר צורך קצת, ורגילים לעשות לו בכל, עושים גם בשבת. Says the Magid Mishneh, this is what the Ramban meant. Since he is used to it, this is part of his, I mean, I'm not a coffee.
Cooking, he could cook it on Shabbat.
This morning, Paul, so this morning the food didn't come. People spoke as if they came out of concentration camp yesterday. I know I was thinking to call out Salah. What do you mean? The food is not here right away. No, the answer is, you're so used to it. You're in the back of your what?
I'm so used to the complaints that are.
No, but I was telling you, I was in the back. Come on. Mature adults is the hot. Your hot eggs are not there right away. They put coffee.
But only for Ochel, not for Yankee.
No, but this is the point. This is what he's saying. He's saying your brain is already set. I mean, I don't know if you realize. Because if you miss it, you're in a bad mood that you'd have to walk already. Yes?
So this contradicts the Orach Chaim.
Yeah.
But I correct. In a minute you'll see that many of the Rishonim disagree with the Ramban. This is the Ramban.
Oh.
What's the logic of the Ramban? Tomorrow we'll speak that the logic of the Ramban is, are we looking at a sick man as if it's Sunday? Or no, it's Shabbat?
Oh.
It's Shabbat. We have to do whatever we have to do, but only what has to do for him. Ramban הבין שזה חול, זה לא שבת, חול. So of course baseball אתה רואה חול כי זה לא Sunday, אבל כל דבר, but remember guys, me and you are the same. If you're used for years to a certain type of food, and you don't get it, if you drive to work or you go home, in the back of your mind, you're not, this is the way you start. Yes, you turn it.
Rabbi Wynn has a story. He tells like a question that the doctor is giving stitches, right? And for Yom Shabbat, and he can use a finer thread, and it won't be left to scar what he would normally do. But he has to do more stitches than he did it in a poorer way, but fewer. You know, and he said no, we would do the regular amount of stitches that we would normally do on a fold, less of a scar.
But you realize it has to do with the same question.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's what he's bringing up.
The way Rav Zolti, we should have read Rabbi Willer used to say, this is brilliant. The time when everyone used to smoke. He says a doctor in the middle of a serious heart operation, you know, he has to take a break. He's a religious doctor. He knows that if he smokes, is more calm. It says on Shabbat, אתה שומע? The doctor can smoke a cigarette now. We took a break of 10 minutes because when he comes back,
That's,
you have to be a real berserker, you really have to understand human. How הוא אומר? Remember when people were really addicted to cigarettes?
maybe at the shul, right at the times, people lighting up cigarettes in the lobby of the shul.
Yeah, you don't see
Yeah,
that
people
anymore.
used to-
You're right outside.
Tomorrow we'll continue. Listen. Tomorrow we'll continue exactly on that topic.
But in the stitches.
Mishnah Berurah, Biur Halacha totally disagreed with that. Chacham Ovadia said that sometimes because Maran says yes, you realize Maran copies the Ramban, yes? Ramban says kosher regilim lo. He says whatever you feel, but again, it has to do a lot of who is the rabbi, who is the doctor, who is the man. You have to go the man.
Remember, the case of the stitches.
Let's do I know it's a lot of books. That's all the chumashim here because there is another Orach Chaim tomorrow.
Remember, in the case of the stitches, there's
Well,
no
what?
picor nefesh.
Yeah, you live in Shabbat, but the Chelek Vav we can take back.
I'll come there
What
without
do
sound.
you take back? Oh, you take this back.
In the case of stitches, it's not picor nefesh though. How is that justified? Because the patient is not sensing it at all.
No, because you can have a scar.
I know, but that's after the fact.
Right.
You're allowed to prevent
Let's
it.
talk about a woman, if she has this
Oh,
house.
yeah.
and
Yeah, that's what, yeah. Yeah.
That's basically.
I think it's sort of also like if you're doing mitzvah, like you're doing the milah on Shabbat, so isn't it? So you do it, okay.
I just had 15 stitches.
Yeah, whenever you fell.
No, construction plate. is concealed under the phone. No, it was kapara. Wait, check it out. I said, it's kapara right away. I said to myself, okay. I took one for the team. It's just so, just strange. Just, I didn't, at the time, I didn't see it, but I went back to get my car,